So let's go ahead and start section 5.3. This is slightly different from 5.1 and 5.2 because in 5.3 they give us the area, which is also your probability and your percentage, and they ask us to find the respective z-score. We will be using a stat crunch calculator. We will not be using the tables here, so I want you all to pay attention. So let's go ahead and read what they're asking us first. They said use the standard normal table. We will not be using the table, we will be using the calculator to find the corresponding cumulative area for 0.5100. So here they have given us the cumulative area and they want us to find the respective z-score. So they also ask you for the z-score here. Okay, so keep in mind they are telling you that the area under the curve is 0.51. So this is half 0.5, so slightly greater is 0.51. So they're asking you for the entire area to the left. And also keep in mind if they don't specify the area is to the left or right, it's defaulted to the left. So this entire area is 0.51 and they're asking you what is the z-score here? What is the z-score there? So how do we do it? So let me go ahead and show you. We will not be using the table here. We will be going and clicking on StatCrunch. You will go to Stats, Calculators, all the way down to Normal. Stats, Calculators, and Normal. So you should be having this calculator with you all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this one so y'all can see. Remember the step one is to go ahead and see what kind of distribution is it. They said it's a standard normal. So my mean is 0, standard deviation is 1. I don't have to change anything. And they're telling me the area is 0.51. So again, keep in mind, your probability, your area would go right here. And this would be your respective z-score value. That's what I'm trying to find. So what I will do is, again, area is always to the left because they did not specify it's to the right. So if they don't specify left or right, it's always defaulted to your left. So left is less than, correct? And I'm going to go ahead and change my area. My area is 5112. And then I'm going to go ahead and compute. My area here is 0.02506. And again, always make sure they're asking me to round off to 3 decimal places. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to paste it here and check my answer. There you go. So let me go ahead and take a look at the next question here. Let's say not this one. I'm going to go ahead and find. Okay, problem number 3. Use the standard normal table to find the z-score. Again, we are still finding z-scores that corresponds to the given percentile. Please keep in mind if they don't tell you if it is area to the left or area to the right, you automatically default it to the left. So let me go ahead and see if I have my stat. No, I don't. So I'm going to go to question help, stat crunch, stats, calculators, and normal, right? So here they're telling me, they give me in terms of percentile and they said P2. So P2 stands for 2%. Remember, if they can give it to you as area under the curve, they can give it to you as percentage, or they can also give it to you as percentile. So my first step is to convert P2, that is 2%, into decimal, which is 0.02. So the area under the curve, when they give it to me as percentile, I change it into decimal, that becomes 0.02. If they give you 15%, then area under the curve would be 0.15. You get the idea, right? So when they give it to you as percentile or percentage, you simply change it into the decimal. Okay? So now I know the area under the curve is 0.02. They don't have to specify it's left or right. If they don't say anything, automatically it is to my left. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in my area. 0.02, the area is to the left. Remember, I'm trying to find the respective z-score. So that is, I'm trying to find this particular box right here, and I will click compute. So you see that my area my z-score negative 2.05 matches with the z-score right here. Okay, so please keep in mind your area would go right here and your z-score would go in this particular box. All right, let's look at the next problem. Same thing, it's P90, so it's 90 percentage or 90 percentile, which is 0.9. If they don't specify left or right, it's automatically to your left. Let's look at the next one here. Here, I'm going to go ahead and expand this one. Look what they gave me. They gave me area to the left. Do you see that? They gave me the area. The area is 0.1112, and they're asking me to find the respective z-score. In the test, you will not be told it's 5.1, 5.2, or 5.3. You will just be asked for area under the curve or the z-score. So you have to know what you are looking for. And the best way is simply reading the problem one more time. I'm going to go ahead and see here. They said the z-score is, so that means in this case they're asking me to find the z-score. When they ask me the z-score, they have to give me the area. So let me go ahead and plug that into my StatCrunch calculator here. So the area under the curve here is, what was my area? Let me look here. 0.1112. So 0.1112, making sure I have the right number of decimal places. Once I have it, I always compare. Is my area to the left? Yes. Is this to the left? Yes. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug in my answers. And if I look at it, my answers do match. Okay, so area to the left, area to the left. I have my area is 0.1112. You plug it in and you get your respective z-score. All right, let's look at the next one here. This is area to the right. Keep in mind, when area to the left, you will have less than. Area to the right, you will have greater than. So please make sure you know that. In this case, they're asking me area to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and change my inequality to the right, and I have 0.0853 and compute, and you see my area matches. So always be very mindful of what they're asking you. These chapter 5 is very simple to work out, but it's equally gives you the opportunity to make a lot of mistakes in your test, so just be careful with that. So let's see the next one. Is area in between. Okay, I want to do this one actually. So let me go ahead and show you all how this is done. So here it says find the indicated z-scores. Look what they're asking me. They're asking me area in between. So let me expand this one and show you. When they give you the half of each of this area. Do you see that? They're not giving you the total area. So they said this half is 0.4767. This half is 0.4767. What you have to do is you have to add these two areas. So when you do that, you have 0.4, okay, that's not a 4, 0.4767 plus 0.4, oops, 767. That gives me, what does that give me? That gives me 0.953, oops, that's not a 3, 3, 4. So when I add these two areas, I end up with 0.9534. Let me go ahead and plug that into my calculator. So I'm going to go ahead, stat crunch. Remember, it has to be between. My area is, delete this one, 0.9534. I compute, close this one. And if you see that, remember it's area between, so you will have two z-scores. One is to the left and one is to the right. They're asking you to round off, so you will go ahead and round off to 2 decimal places. And you see that your answer does match. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. I want to do problem number 8 as well, just to avoid any confusions or questions. I'm going to go ahead and expand this graph here, and I'm going to show you that first thing you have to see, this is not area in between. One is area to the right, one is area to the left. Area to the right, area to the left. And if you look at it, both of them have the same areas. So the common sense is, because both of them have the same areas, I will have the same exact z-scores. The only difference is the right-hand side is going to be positive, the left-hand side is going to be negative. So I don't have to find both of them. I can simply find one and change the sign. So let me go ahead and show you how that's done. I will go ahead and it's not in between. I'm going to click standard, right? And I'm going to show you, I'm going to plug in this area here. So this is 0.0329. And you see what I have? Negative 1.839. That is my z-score to the left. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my sign to the right hand side, and I'm going to change the area. The area is 0.0329, and I'm going to compute. You see that I have the exact same z-score but to the positive. I did both, but you don't have to. You can either do the negative side or you can do the positive side. I would always stick to the negative, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and change this to less than, and there you go. And if you look at it, your z-scores actually match. So you don't have to do the two z-scores, only one is fine, because if one is negative, the other one automatically is going to be positive. Okay? All right, let's look at the next couple of questions. You can go ahead and do this. This is percentage. Remember, what do? You change your percentage to decimal. This is 0.4, oops, 409, and they're asking you area to the left, right? So you guys can go ahead and do that. This is, they gave you the z-score. They're asking you to find the area. And let me see the next one. This is area to the right. Let me go ahead and do one of that. Area to the right, I know my sign has to be greater than, correct? If I were you, every time I start a new problem, I would delete everything and start fresh. So I'll see if it's area to the right or left, area to the right. So my first step is to change the sign. And they're asking me for the z-score, and they gave me the percentage. So I know area goes here. It's a percentage. Remember, you change it into decimal. 67.4 is 0.674. And then compute. And if you look at it, your z-scores are exactly the same. Okay, always start with left or right. If they don't specify, it's automatically to your left. Okay, let's try the next one. The next one is area in between. So you have to click your between tab. It's 85%. Remember, you have to change it into decimal. Go ahead, plug in between, and then find out the answer. Okay, all right, all right. Let's see. Do I want to do this one or all of them look very good. Okay, let me go ahead and do problem number 13. Actually, let me do 12. In a survey, I'm not gonna take this off. In a survey of women in a certain country, ages 20 to 29, the mean height was 63.2 inches. So as soon as I see something that I have to take care of, I will go ahead and underline it. 63.2. Standard deviation is 2.77. What are they asking me? Answer the following questions about specific normal distribution. What height represents 95th percentile? What height represents first quartile? Let's start with the first one. Let me see if StatCrunch is opened up. Yes, it is. So where do you go? Stats, calculators, and normal. Okay, my first step is to go ahead and plug in my mean and standard deviation. 63.2 and standard deviation is 2.77. Let me cross check. Yep. What are they asking me? What height represents the 95th percentile? I know 95th percentile means 95th percentile is 95%. So in decimal, it's 0.995, right? So let me go ahead and plug that in. They did not specify which side, so it's automatically to the left. Again, you're going to delete everything here. You have your mean, you have your standard deviation, always to the left. You know what? Let me start from the beginning just so that you're not confused. StatCrunch, stats, calculators, and normal, right? I'm going to go ahead and plug in my mean, which is 63.2 and 2.77. 95th percentile, so area goes right here. 95th percentile is 95%. Changing into decimal is 0.95. Area is always defaulted to the left. So what is the height? 67.756. So they're asking me to round off to 2 decimal places. So when I do that, let me see, I'm going to simply copy this one, go ahead, paste it here. 76. Check my answer. Nice work. What does the next one say? They said the height that represents the first quartile. First quartile is 25%, first quarter. So same thing. I'm going to go ahead and open up. They did not specify left or right, so I assume it's left. My area is not 0.95 in this case. It is the first quarter. 1 quarter is 25 cents, so it's 25%, so 0.25. And compute. And again, 2 decimal places, 61.33. So 61.33. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so please be very careful what they're asking you for. Again, if they don't specify, it's always area to the left. Y'all can go ahead and do this. Minimum is always to the left, right? Minimum GPA. That would still place a student in the top 15%. So the minimum value that would place the student in top 15%. So as soon as students see minimum here, they automatically think it's to the left. But what are they asking me for? The top 15%. So it has to be area to the right. So I want you all to go ahead and do this problem. Let's see. What is this one? The minimum. Okay, let me go ahead and do this one. This is kind of replication of the previous problem. The red blood cell counts for population of adult male can be approximated by normal distribution. Again, I'm going to go ahead and I am just opening a new StatCrunch so that y'all don't see different values. And I suggest y'all do this as well, because sometimes the values from the previous problem kind of get held back there. I know that the mean is 5.9. They said it's normally distributed, so you type as you go. I know the mean of the red blood cells, and the standard deviation is 0.5, right? What are they asking me? What is the minimum red blood cell count that can be in the top 25? Remember, when they say top 25, that means you have to click area to the right. 25% is 0.25. Do you see that? So the minimum value, the maximum value could be anything. This is the maximum value all the way going to the left. But they're asking you for the minimum in the top, which is 6.24, rounding off to 2 decimal places. 6.24. Let me check. Very good. Now the maximum red blood cell count is, okay, what is the maximum red blood cell count that can be in the bottom 16%? In the bottom 16%, I'm going to go ahead and clear all of this. Delete, oops, delete, delete. Bottom 16%. So bottom is lower. 16% is 0.16. And compute, and you have 5.4. So 2 decimal places, 5.4, 5.4, and check your answer. There you go. Okay, let's see. You all can do this. Okay, let me quickly go ahead and show you number 16. A mechanic sells a brand of automobile tire that has a life expectancy that is normally distributed. Again, when they say normally distributed, you go to your StatCrunch, stats, calculators, and normal, right? And you're going to plug in your mean life of the tire, which is 3, 4. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. Standard deviation is 2, 2, 1, 2. Okay. He wants to give a guarantee for free replacement of the tires that don't wear well. How should he word his guarantee if he's willing to replace approximately 10% of the tires? Okay, so now if you're a car mechanic, you don't want to go to the top 10% by default. That means the tires will run forever. You will replace the tires for probably for the first 10,000 miles, or the the first 25,000 miles, or the first 50,000 miles. So you are always on the lower end, right? So 10% is 0.10, and remember, you're always on the lower end, so less than. Compute. So he will say that he will replace the tires with round to the nearest mile. So 3,180 point, I'm just going to round it to the nearest miles, which is, so if you are a mechanic, you want to go ahead and replace those tires for the first 31,181 miles. Okay, because you don't want to replace for the top 10%. That is, I don't even know how long will they go. Okay, so I hope this helps, and pause the video as you go and then complete your questions, and let me know if you have any questions or any concerns. So please don't forget to email me and contact me if you have anything. All right, take care.